Having seen you last night at the Mandarin Hotel for the Arena Stage event last night, and I was impressed with everyone, including your acting, and I know you must
Well,
have
I
had a lot
didn't
of
act
fun.
at all. I mean, they just gave us the script. You really couldn't screw up. You didn't have to memorize any lines, so it was good to be invited, and it was for a good cause, and it's a city institution, so I had done it before, so it was a lot of fun.
Now, did you do? Were you participating in one of the events that they had at the arena? I remember there was something at the arena
No,
once.
no. All I was just used for fundraising purposes.
Okay. Well, how did you like being used? Was
It
it
was
fun?
fine. It was fine. And I got to talk to Joe Lieberman, who will hopefully shepherd our D.C. voting rights bill through. So you make, and with Republican Howard Coble from North Carolina. So you make new friends through different surroundings. So it's always helpful.
So every opportunity is just a smooth
No,
opportunity.
no senator is safe. No senator is safe. No House member is safe. They all get the treatment.
Okay, well, they can expect that from you because
Yeah.
you're going to be on the job 24/7.
That's right. That's right.
Well, what do you think? Things are happening now. I mean, there's so much to talk about around the city now.
Well, I just hope our status changes. I mean, we need to get this bill passed in the Senate. The president has threatened to veto the bill. If the bill doesn't, if it isn't vetoed, then maybe things will change. We can take control of our own local judiciary, a local prosecuting attorney. We're still a colony. All our laws can be overturned by Congress, and I want the city to have a sense of itself and no longer be a colonial, really, possession of the United States and feel its oats and realize that they have to assert themselves and demand real sovereignty and real autonomy.
Now, how would that assert itself in terms of real change? I mean, how would the average person
Well,
notice
that's
change?
really the question. Maybe at first it's just a psychological thing. And then after that, I think it would lead to better and more responsive government. Maybe people wouldn't know the results right away, but at least we would become part of America. Right now, we're a disadvantaged sort of province, and we're not fully incorporated in an American political system. So I don't know if the results would be immediate or the results would be even evident, but we would be included. Right now, we're permanently, willfully, conscientiously excluded. And I come from Chicago, where politics is you get to vote 3 or 4 times during the day. Our vote doesn't count. We don't, as I say, control our own local criminal justice system. We don't have a vote in the House or the Senate. The only really minuscule portion we have is that we get to vote in presidential elections, and that's a quadrennial event, and that's not enough.
It seems sort of ironic that this is the host of the national government, but yet you
It's
don't.
more than ironic. It's an unbelievable hypocrisy and contradiction. Why should the President of the United States wants democracy in Baghdad, but not democracy in D.C.? So I think it also psychologically, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but I think it mars young people that they're from an early stage, if they're informed about it or even aware of it, say, look, why am I not included? You know, somebody said D.C. really should stand for D.C. doesn't count. So I've lived here 43 years and I still don't get it. So the whole point of it is I don't know if the results would be immediately noticeable, but at least we do include. And that's what's important.
We've always had such an interesting perspective on politics in Washington, and like you said, you come from Chicago. I don't know if it was a Daley administration or if you remember that, or
Oh, it's really the dinner table. You know, my mother and grandmother were very informed and very civic oriented, and they wanted me to be knowledgeable. And then I see things that bother me, and so I try to irritate people into doing things.
Well, it sounds like it's not only informative but entertaining, irritation.
Well, you're hopeful to be entertaining. You want to be effective, but you really want to see things change if they need to be changed, and that's the whole point. We have this license plate taxation without representation. That was the idea of a woman named Sarah Shapiro, and I helped try to get it implemented. The building, our city hall, was going to be taken away from us, or we weren't going to have total use of it. So, it's up to everybody to act on things that bother them and try to alter them so that everybody benefits. I mean, that's the point.
Well, it sounds like you've got a good plan, and it
Yeah.
seems like it should make sense, and we should see some action on this.
And I
in the
think this
coming
is a good test about in the Senate and the House, whether the House passed the bill, D.C. voting rights bill. It's a modicum of democracy. It's not full democracy. We don't have a vote in the Senate. We don't have statehood. but it's a start. And people, the march 2 Mondays, or I guess it was last Monday, there was a camaraderie and a certain great spirit, and I think that's helpful, and people have to feed off that.
Well, ladies, come right in.
Okay, well, it seems like it's something that's bubbling up from the underground.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, and I like people to be a little more militant, a little more excitable, a little more strident, and not to accept the status quo.
Okay, well,
All right.
aside from jumping over the White House fence, definitely we should get down there and express our opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. No senator should be safe. You see a House member or senator, you say our status is impoverished and disadvantaged, and we want it to change. Why won't you let us change?
You heard it from Mr. Mark Plotkin.
All right.